I have been told by multiple people that I should rescind my apology to the basketball team after their devastating loss, and we will be getting into that shortly. But you know what? The apology stands. Maybe I apologize to myself, but the apology stands, and I think it was valid at the time. I'm here. I'm Nick Ramp. I'm, of course, here with Reece and Sam Dykes. And we're going to start off with men's basketball. Obviously, lost by 21 to Drake in the first round of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Reece spent about 35
I had 4 hours of
48
non-car time and non-sleep time.
And
that entire time, dude.
To Nashville, and then from Nashville to St. Louis, and then from St. Louis back to Nashville. We mourned for him most of all. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Would have liked to see them, maybe win one game. Could have been cool. Could have been chill.
I would have liked to stay at the hotel for a night.
Yeah,
I was there for the morning.
You were. Yeah. Overnight parking was $40, and Reece had to spend $8 because
dude.
He was not there long enough.
Hey, ran into Zach Bryan at the Gateway Arc.
We did run into Zach Bryan. That's a whole nother deal, but
we saw the world's tallest Superman statue.
That's also true in what's the place called?
Metropolis,
Illinois. Thank you. You guys harmonized on that.
A member of my family is actually from Metropolis, Illinois. I brought it up to my dad when I got home, and he's like, "Yeah, that's where John's from." I was like, "How's that never come up?"
So getting to the game, getting to the sport on the Sport podcast, first time a 9 seed has ever beat a 1 seed in the MVC tournament. Belmont, of course, still has to wait another year to try to win their first MVC tournament championship. Jalen Quinn of the Bulldogs finished with 31 points, and then Owen Larson of the Bulldogs finished with 25. Obviously, Belmont gave up 100 points this game, and Drake went on to score 51 in their next game. So really just a complete defensive collapse.
Well, I mean, it was just we started the game out, got up 6-0 on Lundblade and Orem hitting back-to-back threes. And I was like, all right, it's going to be on. Because the 2 games that Belmont played against Drake in the regular season were just phenomenal games. They were down 25 points at Drake, came back and won in a program record comeback win, and then scored 103 points after their 103-point performance against Murray State earlier. And so you felt like this was going to be a good game early. Then they went cold, and Drake sure didn't the rest of the way. It was at halftime when they were down, it didn't feel great. Then Orem cut the lead to 5 to start the second half. Pretty much every second after that, you just knew they were going to lose.
Yeah, it even at the half, I was not feeling very good. Speaking of Sam Orem, despite getting chewed out very loudly by Casey Alexander for stepping out of bounds at one point, he was maybe the best player on the court for the Bruins, had 18 points, very efficient, 64% from the field and 80% from 3. He went 4 for 5. Aiden Noyes was also very hot from beyond the arc, scored 19, career high 19, and it was 5 of 8 from the field and from 3. He only shot 3s. At least that, wasn't fouled on or whatnot. But there were really some cold performances from some key players. Jack Smiley shot just 1 for 10 from the field. Owen Dillon just 2 of 9. And then Tyler Lundblade 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3. And obviously, you want maybe a little more from the Conference Player of the Year in the biggest game of the year.
And he was just a non-factor in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't even really remember him putting up any shots. He hit that first 3 to start the game, and then hoisted 3 straight, kind of contested, not really good looks. So I don't know if he was just settling for some shots or what, but he seemed a little off. You mentioned Smiley and Dillon. They've been so huge off the bench. Just a couple non-factors. And Coach Alexander said after the game that they just picked the worst time to have their worst game of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, I really don't think there's any debating that it was the worst game of the year. Even offensively, though, with the 3 cold players, 79 is enough to win you plenty of games. But not only was it really a complete defensive collapse, but Drake was making some wild shots too, especially at the rim. A lot of really tough finishes. I was really impressed with how they played, but obviously wasn't thrilled about it. Anyone else have any thoughts on the men's game?
Man, it's just this was the year. This was the year that maybe not even March Madness, but just the tournament itself, like, this was a year for Belmont to win it. And, we're losing Lundblade and McLean after.
I actually believe Lundblade has an extra year of eligibility.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know, man. The way he carried himself made it seem like that was his last game.
I believe he redshirted twice at 2 different schools. He redshirted 1 year at SMU, only played 9 games his first year at TCU, and then only 6 his second year. So I don't know if either of those counted for full eligibility. So we looked into it, and we're not entirely sure what Lundblade's eligibility status is. But I can say that was my last Bruins basketball game, unless they make the NIT. And if they play a game here, then I would be able to attend. But either way, just not the way you wanted the season to end. But a season that's still going. Women's basketball, they don't start the tournament just yet, but they had a really strong close to the season, 83-63 win over Valparaiso. Valparaiso finishes the regular season, at 0-31, which I can't say I know the history of, but I have never seen a team go winless in college basketball. 2 closest games for Valpo. They had 2 7-point losses. First one was opening day game, first day of the year versus Radford. They lost 61-68. And then they lost to SIUE 69-76, but it was pictures with Santa night.
Man,
at home.
We get jersey giveaways and arm sleeves, and dude, Santa shows up to Valpo games.
I actually do think Santa showed up to a Belmont game. I think it was a women's game that I was working production for. I feel like I remember seeing Santa out in the lobby.
Man,
but he gets around.
Okay, I mean, how many countries in one night?
But guess what? Belmont won that game with Santa in attendance. So what does that tell you?
Valpo's on the naughty list. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, 0-31 will do that. Moving on, Belmont finished the regular season 78-70 win versus UIC in overtime. Avery Strickland had 24 points. Jalen Banks had 22. The team finishes the regular season at 20-11 overall. But again, we've talked ad nauseum about the tough non-conference schedule. They finished 16-4 in conference. They're the number 2 seed in the MVC tournament. The tournament starts Thursday. Belmont's first game will be Saturday, and they'll be taking on the winner of UIC Evansville, and they just beat UIC. Granted, in overtime, but hopefully they make a run. It would be great to see them make the tournament. I don't believe they've won the MVC either. So it would be great to see them make a run. But enough of me for now. We're going to give it off to Reese for baseball.
Honestly, I really liked baseball this past week, from when we were away. Got 2 wins against Georgia State, which is incredible. Yeah. I mean, that's a team that went to Georgia Tech and then beat them, the number 2 team in the nation at the time. And just honestly really impressive. Their pitching situation is becoming more hopeful than it is kind of like, I don't know. Because we're getting Owen Cavey, sophomore, transfer student from Ashland University. In a game against Wofford, he got 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. But Ridge Harvey, 5 strikeouts in 2 innings against Georgia State. Yeah, dude, that's great. And I'm liking our pitching rotation now. Like, we've had Ridge Harvey and Owen Cavey kind of cycled through. Owen Marsh was kind of in there a little bit through the Georgia State game. But I'm liking the Ridge Harvey, Owen Cavey, Tate Marlin. I'm liking those guys. Lake Morris, I think he does a fine job being the pitcher for, like, I don't even know what kind of game I'd call him, but he's just been kind of okay. But he did have a really good game against Georgia State, got 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. Things are looking up for this team. I mean, 7-10. That's not a record that I'm necessarily frustrated at. I'm actually kind of impressed by that record right now for this season. Last season was not very hopeful. Last season, by March, you're like, ooh, this is not great. But I mean, yeah, they got 2 wins against Georgia State. Went to Middle Tennessee, won 8-7. Wofford came in to Belmont territory. Yeah, they lost the series, but they did win a game and picked up a win on the Sunday game. At the 12 o'clock game, and then went to Tennessee Tech at Busch Stadium.
Not that one.
A different Busch Stadium. But won 11-7. And this is a team that I'm really liking this season, and just not the way I would expect this team to go after all the players they lost last year and all the guys that went to, all the big power schools. But really cool performance. I'm really, really excited with all the transfer students that they got and how early they've shown, like, they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, they've made a really quick impact.
All right, so baseball obviously had a good stretch. Nothing like softball. So they had when we left for spring break, they had 2 games against Central Michigan, a doubleheader. Won both of those 6-5 and 10-1. Had a doubleheader against Southern Indiana. Won that 8-4 and 5-0. Beat Ohio on that Sunday 3-0. Traveled up to Knoxville. Played number 1 ranked Tennessee and lost 1-0. If you can hold the number 1 team to just 1 run, you think that you could squeeze one and make it a game, but just couldn't get anything done offensively. And then they hosted UIC, went 2-1 on the weekend, won in 5 innings twice, 9-1 and 8-0, then lost 3-2. Maya Johnson, I mean, it is what it is. She just had some incredible performances. I'll get you Central Michigan first.
She makes our job hard because she's so good that it's like, what do you even say? We're a podcast. We're a speechless podcast because, like, what do you do at this point?
I mean, Central Michigan, 5 innings, 5 base runners, 14 strikeouts. That's just ignorant. Pitched against Ohio, threw a shutout there. Had 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 17 strikeouts. That's just a phenomenal day. Against Tennessee, I mean, she's already beat 2 SEC teams. She picked up her first loss in the year. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts. Like, that's just insane. And then against UIC, she had a perfect game get ruined on an error. And they were the first 2 games that she didn't have 10-plus strikeouts in a game, but still got 2 wins. They overmatched UIC in the 2 games that she pitched. But really just the concerning thing for me is what happens when she's not on the mound. Can they get enough runs to –
Even when she's on the mound.
Even when she's on the mound. Because, I mean, she can't hold the other team to – you can't count on her to hold the other team to 1 or less runs every time. Like, at some point, she's going to have to give up 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Tennessee, Belmont, that was a really close game. They won by 1 run. Belmont didn't score.
It's almost DeGrom-esque back when,
Absolutely.
2019 Mets.
When he had, like, 10 wins.
Yeah.
And, like, just couldn't get the run support. But, I mean, she gives this team a chance against any team. That's what Tennessee showed. It's just how far can the offense keep them in games.
I mean, obviously, she's incredible. Number 1 in the NCAA. I don't know if you guys know that, but in strikeouts, she leads by like 31 strikeouts to second place, and then also tied for second with most shutouts with 5 this season.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Second game against UIC, she did throw a no-hitter. 5-inning no-hitter.
Yeah, she had a perfect game get ruined by the error.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, you said that, and I was like, now I'm no math expert, but I think that's still a no-hitter. As long as she didn't give up a hit. Wow. Okay. There you go.
It's just crazy, and that's such a sport where you need that, because softball, like, there's no stigma about pitching your players as much as possible. Like, in baseball, like, you can get a guy for once a series. Maya Johnson's pitching 2 times a series against opponents. Just trotting her out there and just letting her go to work has worked so far. It's just those non-Maya Johnson games make you just the teensiest bit nervous.
Yeah. I do have to say, softball mercy rule is a little too quick for my liking. If you're down 8 after 5, the game's over.
I think I've won a baseball game down after 5.
I know for a fact I won a baseball game down by 6 heading into the last inning, but we were down by 8 at one point, and it's just, I mean, we'll get into it later, but USA almost came back down 8-0 last night, but we'll get into that later. Either way, that's a side tangent. Which one of you guys has tennis?
I've got tennis. Men's tennis, they played UT. They lost 6-1. But then they took it out on the Citadel, baby, 7-0.
Yeah. Eli's in one of my classes. He's like, yeah, we went to Knoxville, got our butts handed to us, but then
we handed them back.
we got it back. Belmont's number 1 doubles team, senior Sabby Roy and junior Stefan Valdivelli. Again, just as always, sorry if that's not correct at all. They were named the Horizon League Doubles Team of the Week. And then they took that momentum into Wofford and beat them 5-2. Didn't come away with any double match wins, but dominated the singles to improve to 4-7 on the year. So men's tennis, quite the turnaround looks like. Women's tennis, not so much. They did get that 1 win against TSU before we left for break, and then they got swept by Chattanooga at home. Lost 4-3 to Western Kentucky, an absolute nail-biter. I really think that if that game was at home, they may have been able to pull it out. And then they got swept on the road at Furman to move their record to 1-7 on the year. And then men's men's and women's track and field played in the MVC indoor tournament over break. Men finished 8th out of 10th, and women finished 8th out of 11th. So it happened. And then also women's golf, they tied for 3rd place among a 10-team field in the Huntsville.org Invitational in Owens Crossroads, Alabama. Shot a very solid 901 overall, which tied them with host Sanford for 3rd. But they were 19 shots behind the clear winner Austin Peay, who just had a great showing. But sophomore Sloan Biddle had an all-time performance for the Bruins. She won her 2nd career individual title and carded the 2nd lowest shot total for a 54-hole score in program history at 3 under par. And she joins 4 other Bruins on the list of women golfers to win 2 individual titles, a list that includes graduate teammate Chloe Tarkany, who finished 7th in this tournament. So women's golf, 2 of their 5 most productive players ever are on the roster this year. Be interesting to see how that goes.
Golf powerhouse. It's like my high school is like a bowling powerhouse. Except golf is cooler.
Come to White. Our bowling team will show.
Well, looking at future focus now, I touched on this a little bit earlier, so I won't spend too much time on it, but women's basketball, MVC tournament tip-off, they play Friday versus either number 7 UIC or number 10 Evansville. Again, they are the 2 seed. For men's basketball, it feels like NIT is still very much in the cards, and perhaps even they would host a game. It depends. In the past, it was an auto bid. If you won your conference in the regular season, didn't win the postseason, you would get an NIT auto bid. If you were a certain, caliber, that's not guaranteed anymore. But there is still just a very, very good chance that they make that. And I feel like they would opt into it. I don't think they would opt out. But really, we just don't know as of now. There's no way for us to know. So that's it for basketball. Reese, back to baseball.
Well, we got UAB this coming weekend playing away in Birmingham. They're going to be a tough program. I think they're more on our level than a lot of people might think. They did beat number 13 Florida in their season opener in Gainesville, which is impressive. They then went on to lose to Florida the next 2 games, 0-11 and 1-6. That's how the website's saying it. I know you got to say it the other way, but that's how it's saying on their website. But beat North Alabama. That's a team that Belmont is very familiar with. I just feel like the schedule, they definitely are a tougher opponent, but I don't see why Belmont should struggle as much with them. They played Middle Tennessee in a series, won the series against Middle Tennessee, but they were very close games, 9-8, 16-14. That's an insane score right there, just in itself. But yeah. I'm very hopeful for this weekend. I don't think we win the series. I think we win one of the games this weekend. I would say probably the Saturday game is the one we take home for us. But then play Western Kentucky University, also great program. I don't know. I think, though, that is a really good game because it is being played at First Horizon Park where the Nashville Sounds play. I'm really hoping I get to go and do that and do media for that. Hopefully. I think it's next Tuesday. Yeah.
Let's make it all 3. I love Horizon.
Yeah, we'll make it all 3. Might as well. Yeah, Sam, you can't go. No. Yeah. But exciting game. I really hope they can put on a show just for anyone in the stands at First Horizon Park. That's just such a cool baseball park to play in, and yeah, I'm kind of hopeful. I'd say they go 2-2. I think they beat Western Kentucky University, especially at a stadium like that. I feel like you have kind of energy behind you to win at home and in a stadium like that. But yeah, things are looking pretty decent for the baseball team.
Have you been completely right on all your predictions so far?
I don't think so.
Okay. We'll have to go back and double check.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Okay. Sam, take us home for the rest of the Future Focus.
Yeah, so softball hosts Evansville this weekend in 3-game series with a doubleheader on Friday and a beanie giveaway on Saturday. It'll get cold again, so yeah, I would grab a beanie. Evansville, they're 7-13 on the year. They just lost the series to Illinois State 1-3. I think it should be a sweep in my eyes, but I definitely think if nothing else, it's 2-1. Maya Johnson starts the first doubleheader on Friday in the Saturday game. Maybe that's what she just did against UIC, but I'm really interested in the non-Maya Johnson game just to see what the softball team looks like, but I'm predicting a sweep. Men's tennis is heading to Lipscomb on Thursday for a Battle of the Boulevard at 3 p.m. Lipscomb 5-5 on the year. I think men's tennis has some good momentum going their way. This one might be a toss-up. Who knows how that looks? And then they're going to follow that up hosting 5-7 Chattanooga Friday at 2:30. Women's tennis also have a Battle of the Boulevard. They're hosting this Sunday at 1 p.m. So let's see if they can't notch win number 2 on the year. Men's soccer is hosting Johnson University in a spring exhibition match this Saturday at 6:30. It'd be good to see the guys back out there again. They've got a couple of matches throughout the spring. They had a just kind of a tough taste in their mouth at the end of last season, 1-0 loss in the first round of the MVC tournament for men's soccer. So just interested to see how they come out and perform. And then men's golf is playing in the People's Championship in St. Simon's Island, Georgia, this Friday and Saturday. They were in the tournament last year. They came in 17th out of 20th. So I'm looking to see if they finish a little bit better this go around.
Perfect. And that's everything Belmont related. We have 2 topics remaining in national sports. I think we're going to start with one that happened last night. I guess they both happened last night, but one that doesn't have an ongoing arc to it. Bam Adebayo, 83 points in the National Basketball Association, second most points all time, passing Kobe's 81, trailing only Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. He shot 20 of 43 overall, 7 of 22 from 3. After the first quarter, he was 5 of 7 from 3. Proceeded to shoot 2 of 15 down the stretch, and then, of course, made 36 of his 43 free throw attempts. Both of those are records for most in a single game. And then also threw in 9 rebounds. A lot of weird stuff going on down the stretch of this game. The Heat trying to extend it, giving him the ball a ton. Obviously, you shoot 43 free throws. It's kind of a lot. I don't know. What are you guys feeling about this game?
My big basketball buddy, he texted me today, sent me a picture of Bam Adebayo holding up the 83, and he's like, I hate this so much. Because he's a huge Kobe guy. And I never thought I would see Kobe's 81 get surpassed. I figured it would have happened by now. I figured it would have been by a three-point guru like a Steph Curry. I know Luka Doncic had 71 a couple years ago, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, maybe a guy like that. But Bam Adebayo heading into this game averaging less than 19 points a game, dropped 83, which is just bizarre to me. It's impressive, but it's just such a different performance than Kobe put on, where they were down that game. They needed every one of those 81, where, I mean, Bam Adebayo was out there against an overmatched Wizards team that just kept sending him to the line. The Heat were fouling the Wizards on every possession there late just to save some time and get him more opportunities to score. So I acknowledge it's a very, very, very incredible performance, but I think the fact that he passed Kobe kind of puts a damper on it for me. Like, if he would have finished with 78, I don't think people would have the same problem with it. Whereas it's like he passed a beloved, deceased member of the basketball community in kind of a controversial fashion. So I don't know. Still, I was keeping up with it, and I thought it was incredible that anybody could do that, because there's people that can't score 83 points in an open gym.
Yeah, I'm for it. Honestly, like, if you're playing within the rules, hey, why not? And granted, 43 free throws is a lot. It wasn't like he wasn't getting fouled most of the time. Like, there were very few of them that I was like, okay, that's just ridiculous. That's not a foul, which I see a lot. That's my biggest complaint in the NBA right now, is just fouls being called on everything. Didn't really look like he was foul baiting. He was trying to score every single time. You know, you can argue the ethics of extending the game by fouling the other team, I guess, but honestly, you get a shot at history. If I'm Bam Adebayo, I'm not stopping at 78 because people are going to be mad at me. You know, I'm going for 150, you know, like I really don't care at that point. I think good for him. And it's just kind of it's a bit of a ridiculous spectacle. It's almost not even a basketball game at this point, but I'm kind of for it. I think anything that breaks up the monotony of what the current day NBA is good.
I mean, what are all the articles that are saying that's like, oh, it's bad basketball and it's bad for TV and it's it's just bad for the sport because a guy like him can't break a record that that's the whole thing. I feel like is people like that. People wish it was someone else.
If it was like Anthony Edwards, people wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
If it was Luka, people wouldn't be mad.
But even then, it just makes a better story, and I can't be mad at that.
Like,
and I think it's
if you asked me
incredible.
to list in order the players most likely to score 83 in an NBA game, Bam might be top 50, maybe.
I was gonna say probably like 50th. Like that's right around where I would have put him.
I mean, I've seen like Malachi Flynn drop 50. I'd almost be tempted to put him above him. His previous record was like 43, and his high this season was like 32.
He blew past that like instantly.
He had 31 in the first
quarter.
quarter. Yeah,
like just an incredible performance all around. Like you can't say anything negative about it without acknowledging like, yes, he did score 83 points. Like there was like he did that. That's an individual performance, and that's incredible.
Honestly, the most egregious thing to me is that his 3-point shooting down the stretch and finishing 7 of 22 is pretty ridiculous after starting 5 of 7. But that being said, I think it's cool. Also, everybody owes Kalel Ware an apology. He's a basketball player. He did an interview with somebody a long ways back now. Not a long ways back, but a while back, where he was asked to name his basketball Mount Rushmore. And he said Wilt, Kobe, Anthony Edwards, and Bam Adebayo. And everyone was like, what? And he now has 3 of the highest scoring games of all time on his Mount Rushmore. And I think maybe Ant Edwards scores 78 one of these days. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. And frankly, I'm always down to witness history. I'm really not mad at it. Something I'm a little mad about, World Baseball Classic. We're an American podcast. We're going to talk about the American team pretty much exclusively here. Lost to Italy, trailed 8-0 at one point, finished down 8-6. Mark DeRosa, the manager, who's not a professional manager, mind you, but an analyst on MLB Network, after the game said something to the effect of, even though we had our ticket punched, we still wanted to win this game. And then people were quick to point out they did not have their ticket punched. And then later, someone asked him about that. And he said, yeah, I misspoke. But then he said he misread the data or the calculations. But then he said, yeah, I just misspoke. And this is why journalism education is important, because nobody followed up and said, what does that mean? I still don't know. I still don't know what he was thinking. But they did play a lot of guys that you wouldn't consider the best players on that team. I mean, they started Ryan Yarbrough. It's just a ridiculous set of circumstances, and now the most ridiculous of them all, USA finds themselves in a position where if they advance, it comes down to the Mexico-Italy game. If the USA wants to advance, either, and this is going to sound like not possible, but somehow it is, either Italy needs to win or Mexico needs to score 5 runs. The U.S. will not advance if Mexico wins scoring a maximum of 4 runs. Which is bizarre. I can't tell you I understand how the math works.
Well, neither does Mark DeRosa. So
yeah, that's
okay.
true. I know, like, outs recorded is a tiebreaker in this tournament, which is... I really don't know how to describe what's going on, but the U.S. is too good at baseball to not move on, and I will be upset.
Yeah. The U.S. is actually so good at baseball is that they're on other teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, Reece has some
this
gripes.
is my thing. It's like, okay, so if Team USA gets eliminated, we still got Team Mexico and Team Italy to root for, because Team Italy has 21 American-born players on their team. Mexico has 14, and Jaron Duran is one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, the Americans dog on like England and like the British for being bad at soccer, for being bad at the sport that they invented. And let's be honest, they are really bad at the sport that they invented.
That's true.
But when they can fire back, because they'll do this, they'll be like, well, you lost in baseball. Yeah, we lost to other Americans on the different teams, dude.
Really, the main team left that's like not full of Americans is Japan.
Yeah.
And I don't think any American that watches baseball is like, yeah, Japan's really good at baseball.
And the Dominican Republic looks
Yeah.
absolutely
yeah.
Yeah, when
insane.
the DR wants to stack up, they will. But yeah.
Just what a gross incompetence by Mark DeRosa.
Yeah.
Like that's just like you just got to do better.
I mean, it's a fireable. I don't even know. You get paid for that position? I don't know.
Like
but
this is the only thing you do all year. Like
whatever
you sit in a studio and talk about baseball, and then you manage the World Baseball Classic. It's not like every week. It's like every 3 years.
his
Like,
second time doing it too. He had plenty of time to understand the rules. Yeah.
That was just such a bad look. It was a bad look losing to Italy, but it was a much worse look in his
This
presser.
is like when who is it? Was it Ron?
Don't bring up Family Guy.
No, this is like
You
this is
got
like
your
you know
Family Guy voice.
no, you know Ron Rivera when he coached
Riverboat Ron, dude.
the Commanders, and who was it? Was it Heineke that people wanted to start? It was some kind of was it
Yeah.
Howell or Heineke?
I think it was Heineke.
Heineke, and he was doing great. Like I think he just beat Tom Brady in the Bucks
Yeah.
and whatever it was. And
That's Reese's metric for if
yeah.
you're doing good is if you beat Tom Brady.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Matt Patricia did a great job with the Lions, according to Reese Letty.
But yeah,
He can't even go that far.
No, I can't even
commit
give
to
him
it.
that. But it's like, he started Carson Wentz, and people are like, why were you doing that when the quarterback you had was doing really good? And he was like, well, I don't regret my decision. And someone's like, you do know you can be eliminated from the playoffs today, right? And he was like, what? Yeah. Anyways,
it's just really it is gross incompetence is kind of the best way to put it. And I don't know if you can technically get fired from a volunteer position, but whatever the equivalent to that is, it should happen to Mark DeRosa. And I'd say even if they go on to win the whole thing, because frankly, I think a 3-year-old could construct this U.S. roster in it's hard
Dude,
it's hard
so
to mess
loaded.
it up. It's especially the bats. The pitching's one thing, but the bats is like there's really no excuse to not put out a fantastic lineup day in day out.
I mean, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper. Like, I think the two best hitting catchers in the world are on Team USA, and Cal Raleigh and Will Smith.
Yeah,
Like, it's just, they're loaded to the nines. And I would be so much more sympathetic if they lost to Japan or the Dominican Republic.
that I can stomach.
Like, that's fine. Like, there are such superstars on those teams. Like, that's okay. Dude, it was Italy. Like, they were taking shots of espresso every time they scored a run. Like, what? Like, I just can't believe we live in a world where Bam Adebayo scored 83 points and the Team USA lost to Italy in baseball. Like, that all happened last
and then
night.
the Ravens don't even want Max Crosby.
That too.
What a weird day.
It really was. I was at my internship and I was talking with my boss and we were kind of just like going through the rundown, all this stuff. I'm like, man, that was all last night. Like, crazy. But yeah, so as you're listening to this, you probably know the fate of Team USA. We do not yet, as it starts in about an hour from now in real time. So, go USA, fire Mark DeRosa, and we hope to see you next week.